What's up, guys? We're back, and today I'm going to be going over the second chance bracket Sweet 16 picks. As usual, let's just get straight into it. No, I've been gone for a while, just been watching March Madness, honestly, trying to just take in everything that's happening. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Alabama versus San Diego State. Got Alabama probably winning that one. Creighton Princeton, got Creighton, because San Diego State played well against Furman and Charleston, but they haven't had that crazy matchup against a great team, which Alabama is definitely a great team. And I feel like Brandon Miller hasn't had too good of a tournament, so I feel like he'll try and step it up. Um, the only thing that could be a downside to that is that he just starts shot chucking and he doesn't make anything, so could be kind of a downside for him to try to heat up. But I do feel like they will be able to beat San Diego State at the very least. Then Creighton Princeton, only one 15 seed has made it to the Elite Eight. That was last year with St. Peter's. And I really like this Creighton team. Just their starting five altogether is great. And then they have a couple shooters off the bench if, someone gets in foul trouble or hurt or anything like that. Ryan Nemhart had a great game. I think it might have been last game, yeah, against Baylor. They have Baylor Shireman, great three-point shooter. Trey Alexander, just good shot creator overall. Arthur Kuluma does a little bit of everything. And then Ryan Kalkbrenner, both great on defense and offense. Just a very big dominant center. So I feel like they'll be able to beat Princeton. Even though, yeah, Arizona lost Princeton and they had bigs, but I'm feeling like Kalkbrenner is going to be too much for Princeton, as well as it's just two three-point shooting teams. So it's like, who's going to be better? I feel like Creighton probably is going to be able to get it done. We got Houston versus Miami. Houston has a very good run so far. I mean, they have come kind of close in both games, which is kind of scary for them. And against Miami, that's definitely their toughest competition. Miami has great guard play alongside Norchet Omier at the center. So definitely something to worry about. Houston, the two bigs, Juwan Roberts and Jerace Walker, alongside the three guard lineup of Marcus Sasser, Tremont Mark, and Jamal Shed. It's been able to get them this far, and I feel like they'll probably be able to beat Miami. And then Xavier versus Texas is going to be a very good game. Xavier had a pretty dominant win over Pitt. It kind of got close near the end, but Xavier was able to hold it all the way through. They got Soleil Boom, good guard, playmaking shot creator. Colby Jones turned it up when they were down against the 14 seed Kennesaw State. That was a pretty good game. Colby Jones turned it up then. Jack Nunch has been, just a solid overall center for them. And Adam Kunkel's done a couple good things here and there. But Texas, that their guard play, although against Penn State, it was mainly Dylan DeSue. Dylan DeSue's been great. So they can definitely rely on him as a center. He can guard Jack Nunch. And even if he gets in foul trouble or anything, they still have Kristen Bishop, who isn't much worse than Dylan DeSue. And then all the guard play on Texas with Jabari Rice, Marcus Carr, and Tyrese Hunter, definitely able to get him far. And honestly, I mean, I just really like this Texas team. I hope they go far. It's just this is going to be such a tough matchup if it happens. We got FAU versus Tennessee. No one likes FAU. Tennessee's winning that one. If you know, you know. The FAU Fairleigh Dickinson game at the very end. Number 15. I forgot his name. I think, yeah, Elijah Martin. He tried to do a dunk. He missed the dunk, and it's nuts. I mean, you should do it at the very end of the game when the other team's giving up. So, rooting against FAU there. And I honestly think Tennessee will be able to get it done, especially if the one guy, Olivier, I forgot to say his last name. Forgot how to say his last name, but he was showing up against Duke. And if he can have a similar game to that alongside, they have Adu, who's solid. They have Plavich, who's solid at the set. Those are the two bigs. They're both okay. And then they got Vescovy and Julian Phillips and Josiah Jordan James. So they still have good forward/guard play. It just still hurts them that Zakai Ziegler's out. But, they were able to beat Duke. I feel like they can definitely beat FAU. Then Kansas State, Michigan State. Both of these teams played well against teams that I thought were favorites over them. Kentucky, Marquette, they both beat them. So that was surprising for them. Kansas State, Marquise Noel, he'll be able to get them anywhere. He's a really great, crafty guard that plays like he's not even in college. He plays like he's playing street ball. Just pulls up from anywhere. Has these nice flashy passes and stuff. He's definitely fun to watch. Then they got Keontae Johnson over there. They got I always get their team and TCU's team confused. Like I know Mike Miles and I know Damian Bob, but then like the wings and stuff, I'm like, oh, Chuck O'Bannon, who's he play for? He plays for TCU. But Kansas State, they have good wings, and against Michigan State, I feel like Michigan State has been the better team recently though. They did. I was gonna say did come close to Marquette, but then they pulled away. Tyson Walker, AJ Hogard, great guards. And then they got Malik Hall. They got Joey Hauser, Midi Sissoko, very good shot blocking center. He's just the typical prototype center that you would want on your team, just to be able to hold the defense down and protect the rim, as well as put in a couple putbacks, get some offensive rebounds, stuff like that. So I got Michigan State winning this game. This is probably a toss up though. Like either team could win for sure. You got Arkansas versus UConn. Arkansas pulled off the upset against Kansas. I knew one of those second round upsets would happen. I just didn't know that the team would get out in the first round. That Fairleigh Dickinson Purdue game is always going to be historical now. Arkansas versus UConn. UConn has had both back-to-back pretty good performances. Arkansas barely pulled away against Kansas, but they beat Kansas. So guard play in Arkansas. They always got Anthony Black. Devontae Davis had a really good game against Kansas. They have Ricky Council, always a solid player, alongside Nick Smith Jr. as well. And then they got the Mitchell twins at center to kind of rotate out in and out. And there's also one guy. Oh, Jordan Walsh is on that team as well. So Arkansas they have a strong team. It's just, as I was saying, they have had some injuries here and there throughout the season. So this is why they're an 8 seed. Because realistically, they could be a 4 or 5 or maybe even a 3 seed. And I wouldn't be surprised. They'd have the team for it. And then UConn, Adama Sanogo has been dominant so far in this tournament, as well as, Jordan Hawkins and Tristan Newton have been good guards. Jordan Hawkins, great shooter. They also have Andre Jackson, who's, very athletic. They've been able to get them some points at sometimes when they had needed it. And they have Donovan Clingan as another backup center, or just if they want to start him alongside Sanogo. He's definitely an option. Very solid, tall center. Against Arkansas, I feel like UConn will be able to get it through, pull this one out. And Gonzaga, UCLA, this is probably the biggest toss-up. It's a rematch of that Final Four game back in 2021, as well as that one game where UCLA came back against Gonzaga when they had Adam Morrison. That was however long ago that was. And it's really just who has been playing better, and I feel like Gonzaga had a pretty close win against TCU. They only won by 3, even though technically they won by 6. It's just the one guy chucked up a 3 at the very end and went in. In UCLA, they got Jaime Jaquez, got Tiger Campbell. Adam Bona's been back. He's been, solid for what he can do. And they have David Singleton. I don't know how he is, because I remember he got injured at the very end of that UCLA Northwestern game. So that's definitely something to worry about. But I mean, David Singleton hasn't been like their key player. He's just been a solid veteran guard for them to just shoot threes when he's open, do a little bit of everything. Gonzaga, I still don't feel fully confident in them. They do have great players in Julian Strother and Drew Timme, is obviously. But UCLA, I feel like UCLA will be able to get it done. Then we got Alabama Creighton. This would be such a good game, man. Alabama and Creighton. Creighton, obviously I've already said I love their starting 5. Alabama, Brandon Miller and Jaden Bradley and Noah Clowney, Javon Quinterly, Mark Sears. Got great guards alongside their freshman bigs. It's just Creighton, man. I really like this Creighton team. I want to see them go far. But I feel like I'm going to go with Alabama here. Yeah. And Tennessee, Michigan State. This is where I feel like Tennessee's run ends. I got Michigan State winning. Their guard play, man, it's going to be tough for Tennessee to handle. I mean, Santiago Vescovi has been a solid defensive guard for them. He had a couple good plays against Duke. Um, Michigan State, man, I feel like this team, you know, it's Izzo, it's Tom Izzo, it's March, it's Tom Izzo's, it's Tom Izzo's month. So I got him moving on to play Alabama in the Final Four. We got Houston versus Texas. This will be the game of the tournament if it happens. I just love both these teams. Think both of them are really, really good. Texas, of course, has a great guard play that I really like. Houston has that same exact great guard play. They both have solid bigs. I feel like Houston bigs are probably better. You know, they have a NBA player on their team, Jarace Walker. He's going to be in the NBA next year. Texas doesn't really have any NBA talent. You don't always need that, though. I mean, Marcus Carr can make it. I wouldn't be super surprised, but I feel like it's a safer bet to, you know, pick Houston here. It's my bracket. I'm going to go with Texas. I just love this Texas team. Then we got UConn, UCLA. UCLA, again, solid. UConn, solid. Both teams have been playing well. I think I picked this matchup a lot in my Elite Eight. But I feel like UConn's just too good of a team. I feel like they'll make it to the Final Four. Then Alabama, Michigan State. I like Alabama here. Michigan State run comes to an end. It'd be in April, so you know, it's not Izzo's month anymore. Got Alabama winning it. Then Texas versus UConn. Got Texas. I think is the same exact championship game I had in my bracket. And honestly, I feel like I'm got to go with Texas. I still just love this Texas team. This is kind of a biased pick. It's not fully what I believe will happen because realistically, I feel like Houston would probably win, would go on the same exact path that I have Texas going on. But I just really want to see this Texas team win. Really like that team overall. Dessou's been great. And just all their guards. Jabari Rice had a great first round game against Colgate. Had like 7 threes or something. Tyrese Hunter can always have a breakout game. Same with Marcus Carr. They just have so many players where it's like, even if some of them aren't doing the best, one of them is going to break out and have a really good game. So I feel like Texas could definitely pull off a couple wins and get to the championship where they could beat Alabama. How many points will be scored? I think it'll be like 82 to 76. So that's like 158. Sure. We'll go with that. And yeah, there we go. That's the Sweet 16 picks, the second chance bracket. Usual. Like, subscribe if you like it. I'm this off season. I'm definitely gonna be posting a lot. I feel like I have a good idea of having every Power 6 conference, like, just going over a preview of their preseason. You know how they're just going over off-season preview. You know, I definitely have a couple good ideas in store for this channel. So just like, subscribe if you feel like it. Keep in touch. Usual. I will see you guys later.